Hello, my name is Harrison Page, and this is a demonstration video for my spider rig, which was created for the Staffordshire University CGI and VFX Semester 2 rigging assignment. So, first things first, here's the spider rig that I've created. To find this, just like any other node, you press tab and you search spider. But here's mine ready to show you. So let's start with the abdomen. So if you find the parameters, then you can see there's a lot of controls. For every single control, there's a 0 button, a show and hide button, a select all, and a key button. So the 0 one makes it so that if you move anything, you can zero out. Show and hide removes the controllers. So if you wanted to render it out or just see what it looked like, you can just show and hide. This is the master controls. This works for everything. Select all lets you select the controls that you want to, and key allows you to instantly keyframe. So with the range of movement that I have for this rig, the abdomen can move on all pivot points, up and down, and it can rotate. The other controllers of the abdomen I've set on one pivot point because they don't need to go around. The base does that for you. So these can turn and make it just in case it wants to sting or web or whatever you want to do with it. So there's an extra little controls at the end. These are called the spinnerets on a spider. You have these controls here. You have the left and the right one. Again, they have all the same buttons. These have forward kinematics and inverse kinematics, like most of the controls except for the abdomen and the thorax, which is like the body. You can switch with this slider. So if you want to use forward kinematics, you have this, which lets you move it. You have the end one, so there's two bones in there, and you can zero it. And if you, on the right side, it's exactly the same. You can move them around. But if you want to move them freely, you turn on FK and IK and select these, and you now have more control over them. This is so the animator has as much control as they want in whichever way they want. And the 0 button works for those as well, and that one zeros them both. So moving on, we have the thorax, which is the body. This has the master control above it and has two bones, so you can control the rotation of the body, which moves the legs with it. You can move it up and down, and you can move the face on its own. Again, zeros out, show and hide works. Controllers that are attached to this are these feeler things. They're called the palpus. These have a left and right to control. These also have FK and IK sliders. So if you want to grab either one, you can move it around. And it has a full range of movement as well as a twist effector in case you want to bend it around. So that works on both sides. The left and the right side, you can do the exact same thing. Right, there are, if I move the palpus out the way, you can see there are little fangs here. These are very similar. They have FK, IK switches, like everything else, and these can move just like the palpus. However, these don't have a twist effector because you don't need them. So if we zero out everything, use the master controls, puts it all back. Now for the main part, really, is the legs. There's a lot going on here, but if you look in the controls, you have front legs left and right, middle legs left and right, the middle second row of the legs, left and right, and the back legs, left and right. These again have FK and IK. The FK for each labeled part goes from the inside out, so it's easy to understand. So you can move the back legs, or you can move the front legs, and the buttons will work the same. However, the best way, I believe, to use this is with IK. So if you turn on all the IK switches, I say this is the best way because I think it gives you the most range of movement, but you can use FK to animate it if it's upside down or on its side or something, because if you watch, when you use IK, if you move the body, the legs will follow. So it's got a lot more range of movement. The legs will go with the body. And moving the legs is a lot easier. So you only move one thing, you don't have to move all of the controls. But sometimes I feel like the FK is necessary. So in my rig I've added both, but I feel like most people will just use the IK option. So you can do a lot of things with a lot of poses, a lot of animations by just using these. And these also have twist effectors, so you can bend the legs. And that zeroes out. This one zeroes out the front legs. This zeroes out all the legs. You can show and hide individuals, show and hide even one type of leg. Same with these, you can show and hide one fang or both fangs or everything. So that is my rig. I've tried to add as much control as I can, and everything should function properly. I've tested it many times. The UI for it, I've tried to make it as easy to understand as possible. Everything is laid out in sections. You have the abdomen, you have the thorax, and you have the legs. And there's subnets in each one for the left and right, and for fangs, palpus, etc. So the only other thing to show you is I prepared some quick animations just to show off different uses of the rig. The first one will show off IK usage for the legs. Second one will show off the FK usage of the legs. And the third one will show off some of the smaller controls you can do using the thorax and the palpus of the spider. Thank you very much for watching. This has been my spider rig demonstration.